All right. Hey everyone, this is Mr. Downing again. Guess I don't need to say that intro. Keep saying that intro. All right, so today what we're going to look at is 10-minute grammar lesson, specifically on subject and verb agreement. So this lesson has three parts. First, you have the presentation of the rules and the examples. Then you also have your guided practice, and then the assessment of learning. You will come back later on to assess your mastery of this particular skill. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So there are four different components. We have singular and plural. We have compound subjects, indefinite pronouns, inverted sentences, and the forms of do. So we're going to start with singular and plural. So there are a number of rules that go with the singular and plural forms of verbs, and you want to make sure that these verbs agree with the subject. So it says here, the number refers to whether a word is singular or plural. When a word refers to one thing is singular, when it refers to more than one thing is plural. So one example is the dog chased the cat across the yard. Notice here you have dog, which is singular, and chased, which is a singular verb. The cats howled at the moon. Cats is a plural verb. Plural subject, so you need a plural verb. All right, so notice in the examples below that the third person singular subjects bird and she take the verb chirps and knows, which ends in s. The plural subject birds and all take the verb chirped and know, however, which do not end in s. So essentially what this is saying is that when you have a singular subject, such as this case, the bird chirps merrily, the subject in this case is bird, so you need a singular verb. Singular verbs end in s. Okay? Plural verbs do not end in s. So for example, the birds, which is a plural subject, chirp merrily. Chirp is a plural verb. So I know it's kind of tricky, but you have to kind of flip your brain a little bit, because when we think of s, we think of plural. But in this case, it's reversed when it comes to verbs. Verbs that end in s are singular. Verbs that don't end in s are plural. All right. Another example. She knows that. She is singular, so you need a singular verb. Knows, again, ends in s, but it is a singular verb. All right. Here it says watch for interrupting words and phrases that occur between the subject and the verb. So for example, the car in the driveway looks shiny and new. So the interrupting phrase here is a prepositional phrase, in the driveway. So essentially what this is saying is that you just kind of ignore the interrupting phrases. You want to find the subject in this case, which is car, and looks, which is the verb, and make sure they agree. So the car is singular, so I need a singular verb, which is looks. In this case, the owner, for what I hear, wants to sell his car. Owner is a singular subject. Wants is a singular verb. Another example, the members of that household exercise regularly. Members is a plural subject, so I need a plural verb, exercise. All right, so now what you're going to do is a few examples on your own. So with this, what it's asking you to do is to read these sentences and write down the subject and then choose the verb that fits the blank. So in this case, what you're going to do is in your video notes section, you're going to pause the video here. When you pause the video, you're going to only choose 5. So either you can do the even number sentences or the odd number sentences. So in your notes section, again, you're going to write down, the numbers, write down just the subject and the verb in each sentence. So you need to pause the video and complete 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then once you're finished, you can come back and we'll go on to the second portion of the video. Okay, so moving on, this is a built-in assessment. So what you're going to do with this portion here is in your video notes, you're going to put number one, assessment number one, and then you're going to choose which sentence has no subject-verb agreement errors, A, B, C, or D. So pause the video, read the sentence, figure out which one has no subject-verb agreement errors. All right, moving on. Second example, which sentence has no subject-verb agreement errors? Look at that one. Take a look. Write down your answer. If you need to, pause the video, read the sentences, and figure out which one has no subject-verb agreement errors. All right, moving on. This is rule number 2. So this deals with compound subjects joined by the word by and take a plural verb. Compound subjects joined by and take a plural verb regardless of the number of each part. So for example, the actor and the director. This is a compound subject. It is plural, so you need a plural verb, which is are. Good actors and directors. This is also a compound subject, so you need a plural verb. When the subjects are joined by or nor, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it, nearest to it. Okay, so this gets a little bit tricky. So in this case, what you have to do, whenever you see the word or nor, you have to look at the subject that comes after that. So in this case, it would be the word lenses. Lenses is plural. So I need a plural verb, which is have. In the second example, neither the lenses nor, there's that word nor again, because remember the rule is whenever you have or nor, you have to look at the verb that agrees with the subject nearest to it. So we have to look at nor. What comes after nor is camera. Camera is singular, so therefore I need a singular subject. All right, moving on. All right, so here's another practice example. So here you're only going to, once again, pause the video, choose 5. You're going to write down in this example, because these are compound subjects, write down the 2 subjects and then write the verb that agrees with it. So again, you're going to simply pause the video, write down the subject and the verb that agrees with it. And only do odd numbers or even numbers. All right, 2 more assessment points. Read the sentence, figure out which sentence has no subject-verb agreement errors. If obviously you need to pause the video, you're going to write these answers in your notes. No need to write the sentence. Just put assessment number. I guess this is number 3 because we did 2 from the last section, and put A, B, C, or D. All right. This one is a little bit longer, so again, read the sentence, figure out which one has no subject-verb agreement errors. Make sure you pay attention to the rules with compound subjects. Make sure you keep in mind of what the difference between has and have, which one is singular, which one is plural. Read the sentence and make your choice. Pause the video if needed. And I'm going to pause here for a second. Okay, so we've done 2 components of this 10-minute grammar. We've done singular and plural, and we've done compound subjects. So now this is your opportunity to check your work. So I'm going to show the page notes. Now, over here, these are the answers. to the practice problems. So you can use this to view whether or not you got your work correct, and this will help you to also assess how you're doing. So you can pause the video, look at your answers, see if your answers match with what's in the notes browser. All right, so moving on, take that out here. I'm not going to go over the multiple choice answers because I'm going to take a look at that. But also, again, here are the answers to the notes. Let's see if I can zoom in on this so you can see a little bit better. So this is showing you here how each question, whether the subject is the first subject versus the second subject, and which verb you would use. So again, you can use this to check your previous work to see if you got the answers correct. Okay, so when we come back, take these out. We've done these, and again, the second half of this video will focus in on rules 3 and 4. So make sure you take a look at that the next time we check in with the 10-minute grammar on subject-verb agreement. Be sure to turn your video notes into Edmodo online for this assignment.